melu video bayelu etu Father Okunelele siwechole na Catholic Church yesterday. God came and spoke to me. Yes. Suddenly he was there. God wants me to drop a message for Okunelele. You understand? Yes, you may be wondering which God, which God spoke to you. How can everybody God speak to you? Yeah, God speaks to everyone lately, irrespective of your religious stand. Whether you believe in God or not, if he wants to speak to you, he will speak to you. So I don't believe in God. But I guess that God believes in me so much that he has to use me as a portal to drop this message. The problem is, will Okunelele listen? Listening is not the problem. These pastors be listening to us a lot lately. And they are improving one way or the other. Our message is changing lives. It is transforming lives. So, whether he will listen or will he obey God? Will he obey God? Now, here is the message. Okunelele, before you leave Catholic Church, God wants you to return all of those isiagbara, all of those all of those representative, all of those opesi. Okay, because you should know by now that now more, okay, well, you cannot take in more. More is an energy. Okay, mbembo. After that, no osisi will shed. I say, okay, we can actually gather here, okay? We can actually gather here and begin to worship our irrespective gods in our own way, right? So people gather under the tree because of the shade. And then now people say that they are finding a no. You understand? By virtue of what our ancestors were doing under the tree that time, the tree became elements charged with power. It became sacred trees. That is why you get sacred trees. That's how. That is the origin of sacred trees. Every blessed day of your life, that after 4 to 7 days, that more will be there waiting for you. The likes of Ungu, the likes of Obenebe, and the many more. So those unko more, Father Okunelele, God wants him to return it. This time is not the will of my God. The will of that God he served for how many years? That is put on here now. That God that is no respecter of persons. That God that don't really care about him or how much he's dedicated or committed to the commission. That same God that prompted him to go, move into people's villages and begin to seize the representative of their God because he found out that they are ignorant. God wants him to undo what he has done. There is no better way to be sorry than to undo. I am sorry is not enough. I am regretting is not enough. Rather, yeah, will do that. So, Omalun goes in Imo State. Let him go to Imo State and go and deposit it with his knees on the ground. Omalun goes in Ababa. Let him return it to Ababa. This is the first thing God wants him to do. I don't care how you see this message. Now you sabi. This is the mind of 1,000 gods. Then the second thing God wants Okunelele to do is for him to instantly return to tradition. For him to instantly. By now he already knows that there is no truth anywhere. There is no Jesus anywhere. He already knows that there is no God anywhere. By now, by virtue of the awakening message we are dropping on this social media every day, he already knows that Nandi will already know Chukwu before the white man came. He already know that Chukwu Ogike is not God. He already know that my book of Bible story is just my book of Bible story, that there is no reality there. However, he should know that is willing to use him and the work. Is willing to use him and touch lives. This time in spirit and in truth. Will he submit himself to ordinary? Now he has gathered crowd. Now he can have real miracle. The deity that called him is willing to bestow upon him the power to do real signs and wonders in the name of Chukwu Nagene Nordinana. This is the second message that God, whether it is God of Israel that he believes in, whether it is God of the Son, that any God that he believes in, this is the second message that the God has for him. As he's leaving the Catholic Church, what did I say? Now, the first thing to do is to undo that which he has done that was wrong. And then the second thing to do is for him to submit himself to the ordinary spirituality and use himself to work in favor of Ndimbo and Degede. That he may inherit in the iche, he may inherit in the iche, as in Kolu no Kundi iche. A lot of people now go see her hungry on it, and when they die, I go for that now. You don't merit to be here. They treat them like trash after they have departed this planet. Let that not be his case. Because upon death, every Igbo man will find out that there was no Jesus Christ after all. There was no heaven after all. That there is now reality. That either you reincarnate to do that which we are supposed to do. To reincarnate to do that which we are supposed to do. The other time that you didn't get to Zwo. Now that you have died, that you have seen the truth now, you may not begin to plead to reincarnate again to go and Zwo that affair. It may be too late. An endless will. These two things. Then the third message God has for him that I know that he may neglect. The third message God has for Okunelele through me is Naya awa kwa na awa go back on his words. Also again in Oga Apuna Catholic Church. The value of a man is completely dependent on the value of his words. And the value of your words depends on the action that backs it up, on your willpower. I will eat cocoa, eat that cocoa. I will eat rice, eat that rice. I'm going to obey the main market, go to obey the main market. I will see you tomorrow, see that person tomorrow. Words are alive. Let him not allow his actions to kill that words that he has spoken. Okupitegi okudindo. No gapu gene na Catholic Church. Obuze no opono. What does it mean? No bugoya bo oku okulu. And this will, however, increase his intalamafafa. The Catholic Church will turn back and begin to see him better than they are seeing him. They already have their impression of him. And every other Reverend Father out there. So let's see Femelo Mbaka. And ihe mele oku na-elele unu jiri ya mgburi ihe ụmụnna anyị ndị nọ n'ụka a sịrị na a word is enough for the wise na ọbụla ka ntị ọha ka okpu ata bụ na ya bụ ntị na anụ ihe daalụ.